For decades, a geopolitical fantasy has dominated discussions in Southeast Asia, an ASEAN Schengen Visa that removes physical checkpoints, allowing unrestricted travel across 10 nations. This map illustrates the World Economic Forum's projections for what a unified visa could deliver. The data predicts an additional $12 billion in GDP, the creation of 654,000 new jobs, and a tourist influx increasing by up to 25%. These economic incentives continually tempt regional leaders into proposing unified visa schemes. In 2024, former Thai Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin led the most recent attempt, a 6 countries, 1 destination initiative designed for mainland Southeast Asia. Yet, despite clear financial rewards and decades of diplomatic effort, the ASEAN single visa consistently fails. The delay is not caused by a lack of political ambition. It is the result of a severe theoretical clash between how Southeast Asia governs itself and the architectural requirements of a borderless zone. The ASEAN Schengen is a professional illusion. To understand the actual direction of the Vision 2045 framework, we have to look at the institutional math that makes erasing physical borders here impossible. The global standard for regional mobility is the European Union's Schengen area. This model operates on a political theory known as Neofunctionalism. Economic integration creates a spillover effect that forces political integration, culminating in a powerful central government. Member states surrender domestic control to centralized laws and submit to supranational courts overriding national legislation. ASEAN operates on the opposite principle, liberal intergovernmentalism. It functions as a flat, interconnected web where each of the 10 member states maintains absolute sovereignty. Codified as the ASEAN Way, it dictates strict non-interference and absolute consensus. No regional policy moves forward unless all nations agree. Southeast Asian nations use regional cooperation specifically to strengthen their individual national capacities rather than dilute them into a unified superstate. Because the organization is engineered to protect state power, collapsing national borders into a European-style zone contradicts the core logic of ASEAN. Operating a borderless travel zone is not a simple political declaration. It requires a massive, centralized administrative apparatus to track human mobility across multiple jurisdictions. The institutional math reveals a staggering disparity. The European Union employs over 46,000 people to manage its integration. The ASEAN Secretariat, tasked with coordinating 10 nations, operates with roughly 300 staff members. The European administrative operation requires infrastructure on the scale of the Berlaymont building in Brussels. By contrast, ASEAN coordinates its regional efforts from this headquarters in Jakarta. The technological gap is equally stark. The EU relies on the Schengen Information System, or SIS2. This centralized IT database allows real-time biometric checks across all member states. ASEAN relies on the electronic ASEAN Apple database system, which functions as a decentralized network for sharing intelligence rather than a real-time immigration hub. Without a central verification engine, member states cannot independently verify their neighbors' security checks. The result is a fundamental lack of trust in regional backgrounds. Lacking tens of thousands of personnel and a unified data network, executing a single visa regime remains physically impossible. There is one final barrier: the fiscal veto. For developing nations within the bloc, individual visa application fees supply critical sovereign revenue. This chart shows Cambodia's national revenue during a trial run that exempted certain ASEAN nationals from visa fees. Income from these fees plummeted by $14.1 million. These physical checkpoints operate as lucrative economic toll gates for the nations that maintain them. If eliminating physical checkpoints is both a political and fiscal non-starter, how does Southeast Asia actually achieve regional integration? The answer is the ASEAN single window. Rather than removing physical checkpoints, the single window integrates the region digitally. It standardizes the electronic exchange of customs documents, allowing cargo data to clear borders instantly. This digital paperwork has saved businesses over $6.4 billion and reduced transit times by 4 days. The single window proves that the region can capture billions in economic benefits through digital interoperability, preserving national sovereignty in the process. Recognizing this success, regional leaders recently adopted the ASEAN Community Vision 2045. This 20-year blueprint officially codifies the move away from the European model. The blueprint restructures the community. It elevates connectivity to the same strategic level as the political, economic, and socio-cultural pillars. Connectivity is defined as the digital synchronization of sovereign states. It replaces the goal of erasing borders with making them digitally invisible. The roadmap for tourism and business travel scales the single window's logic to people. This means a decentralized network of e-visas that speak across borders. Instead of delegating power to a central authority, national customs and immigration forces are being modernized to operate within this shared digital ecosystem. This strategy allows leaders to maintain national control while pursuing the next phase of regional growth. ASEAN is not erasing its borders, it is building the digital infrastructure to prove regional prosperity can be coordinated without a central superstate.